I'll be back in 2 seconds. Yeah, I just got in.
What? Man's on dial-up still, boy. What the hell?
I can join back in 2 minutes, yeah? Let me just finish my
You
food, man. I'm hungry.
You got 1 minute, man. You're a big man. You can eat quick, boy. Pause. Yeah.
It's like doing a podcast with a dial.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, though?
Yeah.
I don't know, but this... Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, this is live. This this is going out on the video.
We're back on Don't Gas. Yeah? Back on Don't Gas. Some of us are ready, some of us are not. Don't forget to like. Yes, back with another one. Back on Don't Gas. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, as I was saying before my intro interrupted me. Yeah, we're back again. Got Blunt with us today. Got JD in a funny looking top.
Yes, sir.
We've got Bizzle. Stop hiding, man.
Come in.
And of course, your host, Buckstar. And we will have Tiny Godfather joining us in a little while as well. So yeah, we're going to kick off talking about some transfer news. We've all been looking at what's been going on. Obviously, looking at our own teams, at our rivals, to see who's coming in, who's going out as well. What players are leaving our clubs. Had some good news that we're getting a striker finally after 2 years. But that looks like it's virtually done. All documents have been transferred, and Victor Gyökeres will be an Arsenal player, pending a medical. But I want to know who's had the best and the worst window so far out of our so-called big six. Not sure if we can call them a big six at the moment, but we'll call them the big six anyway. Who do you think's had the best and worst window? I'm going to go to a neutral first, and I'll go to Blunt.
Thanks for that. Neutral, yeah. No Premier League. I don't know. We don't even have a derby this year, mate. No Leeds, no Sunderland. But I find it hard to keep track of now, like with the transfers and stuff, because it's just everything has to fill a sort of front page, or as it is now, a web page. So it's constant rumours. I mean, like you're on about Gyökeres there. Like, how long is this taking to come off? I think with the moves that Arsenal have made so far, it's not about signing the most good players, which is I think that's why Man City have fell foul a bit, because I think they're panicked and they've just gone out and just get as many of the good players as they can. Do you know what I mean? But if you look at like what Arsenal are doing, it's you see where the holes are that need plugging. You don't need to go out and buy 4 or 5 players every single window. It's a myth created by Sky, isn't it? Sell the transfer window program, where you have to go out and spend an absolute fucking fortune, and if you don't, we're going to have some pundits on there and we're just going to criticise you for lack of ambition, lack of forward thinking. Take Liverpool, for example. Like, I think Florian Wirtz, top player. Frimpong, top player. I'm pretty sure with both of them have gone through, have they not?
Yeah, they have, yeah.
And they're just filling in spaces where they're not necessarily weak, they just need to strengthen. And from what I'm seeing now, Isaac, who I did believe would have ended up at Arsenal sort of like 6 months ago, it's looking like he's pricing himself out of a new contract at Newcastle. So I can see Liverpool tying that up in the next week. So if Liverpool get them 3, that's a great window. I think if Arsenal... Is it tied up, this deal with...
Yeah, it's done. All the paperwork's been exchanged. It's just pending a medical now.
Right, yeah, and you know he's going to fly through that.
Yeah.
Other than that, when you say a big six, I mean, don't need I know Chelsea signed João Pedro from Brighton, because that's essentially what they do. They just sign Brighton players, or they're good players. Don't get me wrong, but it's just I couldn't tell you who plays Chelsea anymore. They're signing like 50 players, getting 50 players out of there. Well, who is the big six, would you say? I mean, you've got Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, arguably Chelsea, after that, it's just a melting pot, isn't it? With sort of, well, you'd normally say Tottenham, given last season's situation, it probably won't be the case. Newcastle are there or thereabouts, but if they lose Isaac, who do they replace them with? I think they'd be in a lot of trouble if they lost there. That's is it Guimaraes, the midfielder?
Yeah.
Aston Villa were banging on the door. I think they're in desperate trouble if they lose Martinez to Man United. And I just think United are in desperate trouble regardless, because I don't think any signings are going to fix what's going on at their club, to be honest with you. I really don't.
Yeah. Well, look, let me, before I go to the next person, I'll read out some of the incomings and outgoings, okay? I'm not going to name everyone, but I'll name some of the big names in and out. So alphabetically, so I'm not being biased by starting with Arsenal. Alphabetically. So we've got Zubamendi from Sociedad. These are all in euros, by the way, so you have to excuse me. Zubamendi, Sociedad for 70 million euros. Madueke, 55.4 million euros. We've got Mosquera, who I don't know much about, actually, from Valencia, 15 million. Norgard, 11. And then we've got Kepa for 5.8. And in pounds, we know that we've got Gyökeres coming in at about 60 odd million. Outgoings, key ones, you've got Partey, who's left, Tomiyasu, Tierney, Jorginho. They've all gone now. Tavares and Marquinhos have gone as well. Arsenal spent total 157.8 million this window. Then you got Chelsea. So you got, I'm going to name just the key ones here. You got João Pedro, Liam Delap, and Mamadou Sarr, and Jamie Gittins have all come in. And people that have gone, obviously Madueke, Petrovic, Kepa, Bettinelli has gone to City. They've spent 243 million. So they've actually spent the most out of everyone so far. Liverpool's window is looking crazy, and they are not looking like stopping. We've got Wirtz, Ekatike, Kirkes, Frimpong, and then they did sign a couple of keepers as well. Outgoings for them, notably Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kelleher, which are surprised that there weren't more clubs in for him.
I'm surprised with that. He looks good.
Yeah, it's quality. Liverpool spent 308.6 million so far, and that's in euros, not pounds, by the way. City's window, I'm not sure what to make of this. So they've got Reinders from Milan, Ait Nouri, who I think is a good player. Turkey, not sure what to make of him.
Do you know what? Sorry, sure. Bro. Just to stop you there. I haven't seen a lot, but what I have seen, that kid from France looks the real deal.
We'll have to see how he does in the Prem. Outgoings, De Bruyne, Kyle Walker, amongst a few other lesser known names. Only spent 145.7 million, which is low for them. Now this one made me laugh when I read it. So Man United incomings, Mbeumo, Mateus Cunha, and Diego Leon, and that's literally it. I was surprised that's all you've bought in United. Outgoings, Rashford, you've got Lindelof and Ericsson and Johnny Evans who have all left as well. 153.2 million. Tottenham.
Is this? Sorry, mate. Is this next?
Let me get through Spurs. Let me just get through Spurs, the last one. So they've bought in Kudus for 63.8 mil. Mateus Tel. Danzo's been made permanent. Voskovic from Hajduk Split, and a guy called Kota Takai from Japan. Outgoings for them, Højbjerg, Reguilon, Fraser Forster. They're the names that you'll probably know. 140.6 million spent. So, JD, what do you make of this window, and who has had the best and who's had the worst window so far?
Best window, hands down, is Liverpool. To be honest with you, I kind of hope they get the Isaac deal done as well, man. I hope they do. Newcastle.
I know why.
Huh?
So I know why.
Well, obviously, it keeps Arsenal and Chelsea a little bit further away from the title. And obviously Newcastle go down a bit as well. Like, you know, it weakens the competition. So, yeah. Worst window has to be Man United. I mean, they've got that Brazilian guy with well, let's say he's got a lack of running, to put it put it kindly, you know, lack of running effort.
No, JD, say it how you said it initially. That you've got
Is that his
Cunha,
squad that's talking?
who just doesn't run.
Okay, yeah, the Brazilian who don't run, you know, and bro,
It's too funny.
I don't see him fixing any real problems for them because they've still got Højlund up front. They've still got, I mean, Luke Shaw in their defense. I mean, Man United just, yeah.
Bro, you got Solanke leading your attack. Are you talking about Højlund? Come on, man. Give me some credit.
I'd rather have Solanke over Højlund.
You would have to say that because you have him, man. But why? Who would actually say that? Why?
So Bizzle, what do you like and dislike about your window this summer?
Sorry, give me 1 second. There's an overheat in here trying to get the fan, man. Hang on. So far, well, I was actually kind of I was impressed how we started because one of the things that I find with United is that we tend to drag our feet all the time and everything takes forever, as we saw with the Mbemo deal. So I was looking and thought to myself, maybe we'd actually look to. From the minute we got that deal done, came over the line quite quickly. I thought we're going to get 3-4 players in, get them on a preseason tour, and then we could kind of look to build from there. But I don't know, man. It's just kind of stalled, man. Going back to it just looks as if you're going back to the same old United, really. I do like the signing.
Who do you think's had the best window then? Who do you think's had the best window?
Clearly Liverpool have. I mean, I don't know. Them guys, they must have got some oil money or drug money or something. I don't understand where they're getting this money from.
Listen,
and do you agree with JD about United having the worst window so far?
Well, clearly not, because Tottenham is still. Who have Tottenham signed?
Could tell.
Who have they signed?
Vuskovic. Listen,
we're not talking about deals that we're not talking about the fraudulent deals that haven't been done yet. Yeah? We're talking about the ones that actually have been done. Who have you signed?
I just said it. Well, you're not listening.
No, it wasn't. Who you signed?
Kudus.
They got Kudus. Matis, Tel, Danso,
and Vuskovic, no, but for us, I'd say the main thing was getting a lot of players out that just ain't gonna play for us. Like Regular's not gonna play again. Højbjerg, I actually think we could have kept him. Like I think he could still have done the job, but he's gone out. But if we replace him with Gibbs White, that's an upgrade. So
I'm trying to replace him with Gibbs White, but you've been a bit dodgy, so that's not done deal yet. So we can't call that.
Like what's dodgy?
You can't count it yet. Well,
like how's that dodgy?
Do you know what it is? I'll break down what's dodgy. Okay,
how does that work?
Triggering a release clause can happen, but agreeing personal terms, you've approached the player without permission. That's what Forest are annoyed about, I think.
Exactly.
You can't be agreeing personal terms without permission to speak to the player, bro. So yeah, it is dodgy.
That's making a deal with your bro's missus, man.
Everybody does it. We do it now. Like Forest get upset, and all of a sudden it's a problem when everyone does it all the time. Like we don't talk.
I was just about to say every club is guilty of it, but they just get pissed off when it affects their squad. Do you know what I mean? It's like basically everyone get like dumping happens, but just being on the receiving end sucks. You know what I mean? Like,
and this guy saying that we're dodgy when apparently Mbemo agreed personal terms like 2 months ago. So
but channels though, we didn't approach him first. We approached the club first.
But you had to.
That's the key. Is approaching the club first, isn't it?
And the only reason you're salty is because Tottenham tried to hijack that deal, but they realized that they're a tiny club, and even with Champions League football, you still couldn't do it. So like that's the only reason you're salty now, innit? Tell the truth. Come on.
Right, moving on. Very quickly.
Move on.
Very quickly, person. Who would you like to see come in realistically to your club? Blunt, you're a Borough fan. So
you know what?
Who realistically would you like?
At this point, fucking anybody, right? Because we still haven't made a signing. We've let Johnny Howson go. I know he's at the twilight of his career, but I'd maybe give him another year. But apparently we're getting this Abdoulaye Kante. That's in the bag from Troy. But I would love to see Laf come back. It's not working out for him in America. Obviously, the Warren have paid the full 22 million, or the final deal, so there'll be money owed, so that'll take a slice of it. and he's a proven goal scorer in the league. I didn't think he was going to be the first couple of games I looked at, but like he's one of the over the last few years, one of the only times where I look at Borough's scouting system and think, you know what, we've actually like dug a diamond out here. A bit of an unknown quantity, and he hit the ground running. And he's fast, powerful, good up both feet. So I'd love to see Latte come back. Don't think it'll happen, but if you're giving me a magic wand, then
okay. Just before we move on, Tom Furlong's just give us a yo there, so big up yourself, Tom, in the chat, in the comments there. JD, one player you'd like to see come into Tottenham realistically, who's it going to be?
Well, I mean, I want to see Gibbs White come in. That's quite realistic, but I don't think we need much, man. I mean, honestly, obviously last season was bad, but again, I blame the manager completely. The manager we had, so yeah, I want to see Gibbs White come in. Offhand, what do we need?
Yeah, I had a pause to that, bro. Anyway,
another centre back.
So Gibbs White, yeah, okay. We've got two United fans in now. Tiny, yo, what's going on, bro?
Yes.
Welcome. Right, two United fans, Tiny, Bizzle. Who ideally would you like to bring in this window, if you could, realistically?
Personally, I just want to see players leave. I'm not worried about who's joining the team.
I love that attitude.
But I want to see players leave. You cannot tell me that this bunch of players finished 15th with no trophy, and we're talking about who we're got to join them. You need to get out of there, bro. Man ain't serious.
Okay, fair play. What about you, Bizzle?
It's the right attitude, though, isn't it? Like fix the problems first before you. Do you know what I mean?
Fair play. Fair play.
Totally agree with Tiny.
You know, for me personally, yeah, Man United have been doing this for too long, innit? And we're just adding players to the mess, and it's not worked for the past since Ferguson left. So
clear out and rebuild, innit?
Yeah.
Clear out and rebuild, man. You got some good youth players there as well. Use them and then start rebuilding, man. Bizzle, what are you saying, man? Who are you bringing in?
I'm bringing in a full 11, man. This is really
okay, right.
I get a striker. I don't know. I guess that's going low spin.
Personally, for me, I'd love to see Eberici Eze come in, but we'll see what happens there. Moving on, right? We're going to move on to Premier League changes now. We're going to look at some of the changes that we're seeing this season in the Premier League. And what I want to start by talking about, personally, I don't know how much I'd like this as a player, but touchline interviews after being substituted. Now, what it does say is the rule change means that they will be allowed time to cool down first. So they're not just going to be interviewed like bang straight there and then. They're going to have time to cool down first. But what are your feelings on touchline interviews for sub players? Like JD, what do you think about it?
I think it's ridiculous, man. I mean, obviously these people like trying to get more controversy in it when players come off and that, you know. I mean, how much time are they going to give them to, you know, to cool down? And how's it going to work? They're going to go into the dugout and interview him when he's sitting with the rest of the players? Like, it doesn't make sense. So really, they're going to have to approach them as soon as they come off when they're, you know, maybe heated or pissed or whatever. So I just think they're looking for controversy again. But I think it's all ridiculous. All these new changes. Leave the game as it is.
What do you think, Tanya, man? How would you feel as a player coming on? Imagine you need a winner and you've been hooked as a centre forward. You've got to give an interview.
Fuming. But they got to keep their composure, innit? It's a bit of a difficult situation for players like in them situations. But this is what fans and people want, innit, to see the behind the scenes and the stuff that we don't see in it. So in general, people are gonna want to see more in it. And
yeah,
no Diddy, because that sounded mad. But
what's gonna sound even madder is what I'm gonna say next, because apparently apparently it's camera. There's dressing room camera access as well. Pause. But apparently it's going to be restricted, and you won't hear team talks, for example. So if there's team talks going on, the cameras aren't allowed in. Blunt, what do you reckon to that? Like, how would you feel as a player sitting there getting kind of filmed in the dressing room, people being able to see what goes on behind closed doors? Pause.
Well, let me just jump back to the first point. Like, we've all played whatever level, and we've all had shit games, and then when you get, like, yourself, like, you get dragged off, when you haven't played well, and obviously you can't imagine the pressure at that level, and then some Sheila, and it's going to be a Sheila, you know what I mean? It's going to be a woman that comes and puts a mic in front of you because of the sort of the quotas of getting the diversity and stuff and whatnot in the broadcasting, and they're going to come and shove a mic in your face. It's like, how long do you need to cool down? Because I've had games of football where I haven't played well in an important game, and I've just been fuming for about 6 days. So, like, you can't expect them to cool down straight away, and it does make a mockery of the natural. And what they're going to do? Are they going to pop to a little window in the top corner whilst the game's going on? So it's like, so let's see what Solanke's got to say about his 5 out of 10 performance whilst, like, the game's going on at this. Nah. And as far as the dressing room thing's concerned, like, managers aren't going to feel like they can go to work and do their job. Obviously, you've seen these. It's let's face it, it's all born from this all or nothing, access all area type series, isn't it? Where you see things going on, but that's different when it's got to go through an edit suite and it's got to go through. Well, that's okay to keep in. That's okay. Surely this has got to be as part of a Super Sunday broadcast. So we're going to cut back to the Manchester City dressing room and blah blah. And like, nah. I don't need to see it in that level, and it's just yet another example of basically trying to make the TV viewer happy so they can charge them more money. When in essence, there should be dumbing down the level of access and footage to encourage arses on seats back in stadiums. Now, I know that doesn't affect the Premier League so much, but you look around the Championship week in, week out since they introduced like iFollow and things like that. Take a look at Ewood Park any given week.
It's a lot. You have to remember, there's a lot of American-owned clubs now, and that's a very American thing to kind of do. They have all that stuff in their sport.
Well, do you know what? I'm happy for the American viewers, right? But that's at the cost of the game I fell in love with group watching. No, sorry, you're going to have to go and get your kicks and satisfaction somewhere else.
What about you, Basil? How do you feel about it? What did you think? Can you see any positives in it? Can you see any positives in these changes or not?
Positives? Not really. From a sporting perspective, from a football perspective, no. I guess it gives us a bit more insight what's happening behind the scenes. That's about it. But do I really want to know? Because, like, especially with my do I really want to see what's going on behind the scenes? You know what I mean? You know what this puts me in the mind of as well? When you're watching the Olympics, man has just run an 800 or 1500, just got battered, got a microphone in man's face.
Yeah. Triple jumper just skips through the middle of the interview.
You know what I mean? It just seems as if it's going to be an extension of that, but I don't really see it adding any value or anything.
We'll soon find out if it's going to work or not.
What do you think?
You mentioned it being American, that American influence, and everything is money generated, isn't it? So it's all about driving that revenue somehow. You know what I mean? So we got to like it or lump it. They're gonna do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think, Buster?
For me, it's just about the extra that they think they can give the fans on charge, innit?
I don't know. You asked me what I think. I just think that there may be one or two moments that I don't know. You could get a falling out between player and manager out of this if he's really unhappy about being sacrificed. Or you got to play. Imagine you're a player who's a sub, and you get players subbed on, and then they get subbed off again. A sub becomes substitute. Imagine getting interviewed like that.
If we're gonna get some drama and a bit of controversy, right? They'll spice it up because the football's boring. Let's face it, by and large, it's a boring product now, right? It's very systematic, very linear, right? If it's gonna spice things up, yeah, but I don't see it happening. And if they're wanting passion, Was it Rooney that's like you two United fans? Like, was it Rooney that scored against West Ham at Upton Park before West Ham moved? And it was live on telly, and he just, I think he scored from the halfway line, and he scored another cracker. And you know when the passions are boiling over, and he sort of runs to the camera right behind the goal, and he just grabs the card, and he just goes "fuck off" like that. And then everyone was up in arms about, oh, these thug footballers swearing it's not a gentleman's sport. So if they're going to criticise him for that, then why do you want to stick a mic and a camera up the nose as soon as they're being dragged off in the 65th minute or worse?
I think maybe the priorities are wrong. I think before doing all this, mic up the referees. Like, that's for me the first priority.
Yeah.
Mic up the referees first, you know?
Yeah.
They are mic'd
up.
Totally
agree.
If you want released, unless it's controversy, but they are mic'd up.
Yeah, they're mic'd up, but we don't get to hear it. In American football, and I do like NFL, you hear every decision the ref makes is clear. You hear everything. That's what should be happening.
Even over here with rugby, you hear it all as well. Like,
rugby as well. Yeah. Exactly.
I see that sometimes in the NBA as well. They mic up actual players, so you can hear the player talking to the teammates.
Yeah, you couldn't do that in football.
I'll be honest with you, right? If I'll be honest with you though, this would have been a lot more entertaining for me if Zlatan Ibrahimovic was still playing. Then I would love to hear him after he got some. You know what I mean?
Either that or Joey Barton.
I really don't see the point otherwise.
Nah.
Yeah.
Right. We're gonna actually go from. We're gonna go from Premier League to Championship now, but used to be Premier League. Streets won't forget who was forgotten. We're gonna look at two Middlesbrough sides. And what I'm going to do before we get into this discussion, I'm going to read you some of the players they had. Yeah, it was crazy. So you got the first period of 95 to 97. Some of the players in the squad at that time, you had player manager Brian Robson. You had Mark Schwarzer in goal. You had the Brazilian Branco. Do you remember him? In defence, you had Luca Festa, Juninho Paulista, Emerson. English players like Nick Barmby, you had Robbie Mustoe, you had Fabrizio Ravanelli, Jan Argofiotov, Mikkel Beck. There's some players in there. Just to give you an idea of that team, in 95-96, they were 12th in the Premier League, finished on 43 points. In 96-97, they did get relegated on 19th place, but Juninho, player of the season in a team that got relegated, shows you how good he was. Then you got the 2004 to 2006 era, which they accomplished actually a lot more. So you got the 04-05 team, League Cup winners, 7th in the Premier League, which is their highest ever finish, 55 points they finished on. And then 05-06, they got to UEFA Cup final, 14th in the Premier League that season, but you can understand that going so far in Europe. And then the players in this team, even better, in my opinion. You got that was when Steve McLaren was manager. So again, you got Mark Schwarzer, you got Hugo Echiog, you got Gareth Southgate, Frank Rodro, Michael Reisiger, Abel Xavier, George Boateng, Baldwin Zendem, good old Ray Parler, Gaius Mendieta, who was absolute quality, Stuart Downing, and up front, imagine Yakubu, Mark Viduka, and Hasselbank. Like that's goals. And macaroni on the bench.
Macaroni just to come on in the quarterfinal. Like this is like everybody's club has a context and a history, and I know people only care about their own clubs, but you guys support big teams. I don't, right? And things that have happened get quickly forgotten. So in context, you mentioned the 96-97 season, right? So we've got Ravanelli, Juninho, Emerson, etc. Schwarzer, right? That season when we went down, we actually missed a game away at Blackburn, right? We had illness virus in the squad, and it was basically deemed that we couldn't put a full squad out for that game. Whether there was failings at the club, whether the right papers or the right amount of notice was given to the FA to cancel the game, but we cancelled the game on the Saturday. What actually happened is we got deducted 3 points and fined 50,000, right, for missing that game. Okay, we appealed it, and then on the appeal board, they put Harry Redknapp, then this is when we've been struggling at the bottom. We went on a run. We pulled ourselves away from it. Looked like everything was going to be fine. We were tilting the 2 cup finals, which we got to and lost them both. And then literally on the appeal board, they had Howard Kendall for Everton, who were below us. They had Harry Redknapp for West Ham, who were below us. And I forget the other manager, right? But they were like, we were breathing down their neck. And that was our appeal panel, whether to give us 3 points back, which to me is, and I'm sorry, I'm going to sweat, fucking joke. So on the field of play, we earned enough points to stay up. But because of the 3-point deduction, we went down. I'll tell you something right now. That a team going forward, right? We signed Fester in like March that shored things up. But before Fester, right, we had Nigel Pearson, Derek White, Steve Vickers. You might as well have planted 3 trees at the back and it'd have kept the threat away more, right? Once we got Fester and we started turning things around, we signed a player called Vladimir Kinder and we signed a decent keeper in Schwarzer, right? Start turning things around. If we don't lose them 3 points, and mark my words, we stay up that season, right? And we get a chance to throw money at a defence to shore up that attack that basically no team in the country could deal with, right?
Wow.
We are having a completely different conversation now, all these years later, right?
Really?
I guarantee you that right now. No, really. Because if we stay in that league.
Just to interrupt you there for a minute, we had some comments from Triller who couldn't be on tonight, completely disagreeing with you. I think
that's fine. I'll tell you what, right? I'll tell you what, that's fine. Triller's a Liverpool fan, yeah?
Yeah,
right. Well, I'll tell you something. That season, obviously, 3-3, first game of the season, Ravanelli hat-trick with Liverpool. The previous season, when we were first season in the Riverside, got promoted, we stuck it across Liverpool 2-1. The season after when we were back in the first division or the championship and we got to the Calder Cup final again, we stuck it across Liverpool in the semi-final again over 2 legs. Marco Branca, little lad called Steve Baker, absolutely man-marked Steve McManaman out the stadium. I can give you stories about ruining all of your days.
Before this becomes a rift that we cannot repair, let me move on to somebody else.
You know,
JD, let me move on to you, man. Do you remember those sides? And which side do you think was better, the 04 to 06 or the 95 to 97?
The team with Ravanelli and Juninho and that, I mean, and Emerson, those kind of players. I mean, I don't know what years they are because. I mean, I was watching, but I don't really remember that. You know,
that was 96, 97. That was the season that Beckham scored the goal from the halfway line.
Yeah, I'll probably have to say that team. But I want to give an honourable mention to a couple of other players from Middlesbrough that people have forgotten about: Craig Hignett, Jamie Pollock, and I think you mentioned Robbie Mustoe. I mean, those 3 players for me were Championship and Football Manager staples. I'm telling you, those guys.
You know what? So, JD, right? So I'll just stop you there, mate. Thank you, because obviously when Buckstar was reading out the players that they had, and I think I hadn't really said Nick Barnby, like Craig Hignett in them 2 seasons was just unbelievable. And when you look at like valuable signings, he cost us pennies from like Crewe Alexandra, and he was a proper servant to the club, and he proved he could do it at every single level. He was a good Premiership footballer. He really was solid, and like Craig Hignett was a fantastic player, and he's just forgotten about. But thank you for mentioning Craig.
There was another player you had, but we won't mention his name. I'll leave you to figure that out. Bizzle. Oh, you had a player you might have sold to Man City, but we'll move on. Bizzle. Do you remember these sides? Somebody's clocked onto what I'm talking about.
The 05 or 06, yeah, 95, 97
Yeah.
would have been before me. That would have been. I was still in the streets of Barbados on my bobsledding, my little carts and things. You know what I mean?
You went for cup final as well, man. I was living in Middlesbrough at that time, by the way. When they got to the final, I was up there.
We were also as well. Not to forget, we were also FA Cup semi-finalists that season as well. Because after we'd just beaten Stoya, because we were 3-0 over 2 legs. We were 3-0 down in the second leg at home to Bal, and we ended up winning 4-3 inside the 90 minutes. And then again in the semis against Stoya, we ended up 3-0 down second leg at the Riverside, and then we end up winning 4-3 again. Macaroni coming on and scoring, the winner twice. And after the semi-final, I'd come away from the game. It was the happiest I've ever been as a football fan after that Stoy game. And I said to my mate Kirsty, we were just having a Jack Daniels, like trying to soak it all in afterwards. So we had the UEFA Cup final to tilt at, and we had an FA Cup semi-final against West Ham coming up that next Sunday. And I just turned to him and I said, what if we win nothing this season? And he just went, fuck off, you said it now, haven't you?
So,
memories
Tiny,
don't leave
Tiny.
like people do. They always remember you.
Tiny, that side that got to UEFA Cup final has got to be one of the. Now, I'm not saying they're the best as in accomplishments, but as a group of players, there's some good players there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ekiog, Southgate, these guys here, they had a good little setup there. Do you think they should have done more than they did? Do you think they should have done more than they did?
Definitely. But to be fair, that Premier League era had some crazy teams, bro. Like,
yeah.
And
it did.
The football itself. The football itself was a madness, bro. As much as there was a lot of technical players and all of that, it's consistency in it, and they didn't have that at the time.
No, we didn't.
I'll let you have the final word, seeing as it's your club, Blunt. Go on.
Sorry,
you're going to say something.
Yeah, all I was going to say there is obviously we had Steve McLaren as the manager. So obviously he won our first trophy, and then obviously the year later we make it the UEFA Cup final. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank said in his book, when they were completely deflated against Bâle in the quarters, 3-0 down at home with half to go, and he said it wasn't McLaren. McLaren sat there stum. He said it was the players, the more experienced players that got the dressing room fired up, right? What people forget is Steve McLaren, because of that little run and that little thing, was earmarked for the England job. So we knew Steve McLaren was going to England, and Steve Gibson had all this time to go and take a team that had just gotten to the UEFA Cup final, has goals running throughout it, and then build on it. And what does he do? He runs downstairs last minute, sticks his head in the changing room and goes, does anybody fancy a job? And gives it to Gareth Southgate. And in 3 seasons, he took us from UEFA Cup finalists, right? In three seasons, from UEFA Cup finalists scoring goals for fun to relegated as the lowest scoring English league team.
Ouch.
I think we got 28 goals in the full season.
We'll leave it there. I did try and end it on a high, but you ruined that now. But anyway, you got Chris said he remembers that as well. I don't know if you saw the comment pop up earlier, and Triller does know who I was referring to. Triller, man, Triller, you need. Why are you not on? Hold on, why are you not on? You're the only one on my wavelength, bro. Where are you, bro? Seriously. Anyways. Moving on, because run out of time now. We've got the Spinneroonie. Let's see where this lands and what the question is going to be. In the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and we will appreciate that very much. Help us build.
Shouts to everyone watching live and commenting as well.
Celebrations it's landed on. Damn it. I wanted something else. There's another one in there that I wanted, but there we go. Celebrations. So who had the best celebrations in football? What celebrations like kind of stand out to you that you remember? Maybe from when you were younger or anything like that. Do you feel that they were better before, or do you think they're better now? JD?
Definitely better before. I mean, celebrations I can remember. Obviously, Robbie Keane. I saw that one quite a few times. Alan Shearer.
What celebration did you do when you played football? If you scored, though, whose celebration did you imitate?
Did he score?
To be honest, I used to like the celebration that Giggs and Paul Ince used to do together. So. Me and my friend, we used to do that one together, the hands and we should do that still when we score goals in school. But Alex, I was iconic. You saw that one just way too often.
The Shearer one?
Yeah, the Shearer one. You saw it too often, man. But I remember players like again, Middlesbrough Emerson, man, the little shuffles, Faustino Asprey.
No, they're the little samba dancers and that, yeah.
Ah, man, you know who's had the best celebration, and it hurts me to say it because he plays for that scummy team. Is that Dribble Cisse, man? He needs to go and bust a little wine from the corner flag. For me, that was one of the best ones, isn't it?
That's what I said. I was one of the corner flag, man. I don't remember that personally, but
yeah, you wouldn't remember that because obviously you would try to make it a thing. But as an Islander, I mean, we that's where we live. We live from where saying up, pause. You know what I mean? But I remember that celebration. That was quite funny.
What celebration burns you the most? Like, Tiny, what celebration is it that you saw that you just like that burns you the most? Like, what would you say?
I didn't really have much of them moments growing up. So like my team was winning everything, so there wasn't really much.
So not Steven Gerrard kissing the camera.
You don't remember the Wiltord one where he jumps over Pires, when we won the league at Old Trafford? You don't remember that? That didn't burn.
Didn't faze me, man. You know how much times you won the league? You had to give us Guard of Honors and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, that's true, but you didn't win it in our stadium. We won it in yours.
That's fine, man. That's all right.
You always remember, do you remember Wenger on the A2 where he got sent off and he just stood up on that plinth like in the middle of the Man United fans, just like watching goal after goal after goal. You know what? I felt bad for him that day,
What about you, Bizzle, man? Any celebration that you just hated? Like, whose celebration did you hate? I'll give you an example to go off. The one I used to hate,
I hate to see this
because he used to brush us every time, was Drogba's. This one.
Yeah.
When I saw that, bro, that used to be vexed, bro. Like, that was horrible.
I don't like when Haaland's doing the Buddha when he's not meditating. I don't like that.
The Haaland one, yeah.
That was when Lewis Kelly done it, I was like, yeah. I don't even. I rate that. But I hate that celebration as well. Yeah, I don't like that at all. But yeah,
what about you then in terms of best celebration? Who for you best celebration, Bizzle?
Robbie Fowler I was actually going to say that as well.
Yeah.
Robbie Fowler was a madman.
That was funny, man. Because I'm a bit of a wind up, and I kind of get that. So yeah, for me that was quality, man.
What about you?
Do you know what?
Sorry, go on.
Vardy, yeah, no, he's very Vardy. You were one of the against Spurs last year when he was getting when he just when he went like 1-0 for the Spurs, man. I was just watching it like with a miss. I was like, did you see that there? She was like, oh no. I was like, I'm looking me better. I was like, oh, watch this.
It's just the casual. Like, why did he do that?
It's what he's got against everyone, mate. Like, he doesn't like anyone. He just chews everyone.
He's funny though. He's funny.
He is funny. He is funny.
Two people in the crowd score a goal and he's bantering, bro. It's curtains for them.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best.
No, it's the best. Who he got the most is Brighton and Palace. He used to do the bird, didn't he, when he scored?
Yeah. And then he smashed the corner flag with a slide tackle at Bramall Lane, didn't he? Because he's a Chef Wed boy. And then I remember there was one at I think was West Brom where he was getting some grief.
Sorry.
Yeah, where he bent over. That wasn't a good celebration, though.
Gripper 008, thank you for that. Because that was
that wasn't even a celebration. That was just a bit of chew in the middle of the game, and he just stood there and he just went sort of. Players know what's going on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like, this is why we don't want dressing room cameras.
Yeah. Oh man, do you know what? I've got to just say.
What about Lingard? You got feelings about that one?
Nah, Lingard. Nah. Where is he now? Well, not really. I don't really care about Lingard. He was never a player like that for me. There's two for me. And everyone always thinks that Adebayor one's the one that burned me. But actually, I laughed when he did that. I'll be honest. I actually laughed when he did that because he got a lot of stick. But you know what burned me more than that was the Ryan Giggs one, the FA Cup semi-final.
Oh, where he took his shirt off. With a big hairy chest and that.
First of all, the goal was crazy. No, in fact, let me go before that. Missing a penalty. then having to watch him score that goal and do that celebration burned me, bro. Like, that was horrible.
And that just
horrible.
Let me say this though. Let me say this though, right?
That Eric Cantona one.
Right. I was just about to say, right. You on about like regular celebrate? Do you remember Fiortov? Like the borough he used to do the wing, and then you had Ravanelli and shit. But I like I was going to say about Robbie Fowler. Like the first thing that popped in my head. Obviously, there was loads of rumours in Liverpool about what he was doing in his spare time, wherever you like. And then obviously to pull that out on the biggest stage of all, where he like snorts the byline, right? And then
I rate that.
Eric Cantona when he scored the chip against Sunderland, where he just chips it into the far top corner, and he just stands just like smoke, and he just sort of just looks around and he just like exactly like that.
You know, it's the French
and another one,
yeah. Nani.
Another. Oh, I used to do the flips and yeah.
Right. Honorable mention. Can I throw in an honorable mention here? Henry at White Hart Lane when he ran from his own goal area and he does that slide in front of all the Tottenham fans. That's the statue. That's the statue. It was so good they made the statue.
Bookstar.
That was the one right there.
Bookstar. I was just about you've sort of teed that one up nicely because the other one I was going to say, like, and I like the iconic one-off ones, right? You as an Arsenal fan will remember this. I don't know whether you other guys will. You probably will. Away at Wigan, right? And Henry's lining up a free kick from a stupid distance. And he takes it, and I think he's got. But there was the referee had a complaint about it. Right? And he stood there, right, and and then he just lines it up again, and he's got no right. It must be fully like I may be over egging it in my memory, like it must be fully 35 yards, and he just smashes it against it in off the post, and he stands there, and he just turns to the referee, and goes, "Is that one all right for you?" Like, and it was just like, you arrogant bastard, I love it.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, well,
that's that really when he was arguing with the ref, and he just turned and smashed it.
I was just gonna say that, you know, that's probably one of the best celebrations.
Rooney's was better.
Or the ref after, innit? That was
Rooney's was better. Have you noticed? Apart from Robbie King, we haven't talked about many Tottenham celebrations. Not much to celebrate over there, is there? But anyway, we'll call it there. Any last words from you lot before we finish up? Any honourable mentions that we've forgotten to mention before? No?
Nah, shout out to everyone who's watching live and commenting again, though.
Big up to everyone watching, everyone commenting. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, please.
Oh, the Kingsman Dive, I see in the comments there. Who's that? Triller. Kingsman Dive.
Klinsman the slide. Yeah.
I thought Suarez's one was funnier though. The one he did it in front of David Moyes.
He ran
Louis Van Gaal, yeah. Oh, that was too funny, man. Look, we could do another show about all these crazy manager antics. Thanks a lot again for everyone who watched, and thanks to everyone who came on this week. We'll see you again next week on Don't Gas. Like, subscribe, comment.